Hello, everyone. My name is Tim, and this is Freight Master Resources. Before I get started today, I do want to apologize looking like a big fat floating head. I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm looking kind of ghostly there. I don't know, maybe it's just sort of technology figured it was fitting for me to look this way with Halloween approaching on us, right? So we'll deal with it, and hopefully we'll get through this as painlessly as possible. So so anywho, I want to talk to you guys today because this seems to be, I mean, it's always been a bit of an issue, but it's becoming more and more prevalent in regards to carriers double brokering loads, falling off of loads, you name it, right? So for you as a broker or a broker agent, you are going to want to make sure that you are vetting your carriers, right? And if you're still using like a PDF packet, without any kind of monitoring service, I would highly recommend that you get DAT on board if your system is compatible with it, or to just have it, because it will send you updates if a carrier's insurance gets canceled or something, or if their safety rating falls below satisfactory, that kind of a thing. It is an invaluable resource to have. And I forget the cost on it off the top of my head, but it's very reasonable. So if you're not already, let's try that again. If you're not already a DAT subscriber, don't forget to check down below in the description. There is a link down there that they give me to pass on to you guys for your first 30 days free on the load board, right? So, and there again, I love DAT because it has a wealth of resources. And this is one of the things that I'm going to go through with you today. We kind of discussed last time on how to find more shippers using DAT. Today, we're going to talk about some resources that it has with the DAT directory for more information on carriers that are looking to pick up loads from you, right? You don't want to get back solicited. You don't want your loads double brokered. You don't want carriers falling off of loads because because ultimately it makes you look bad to your customer, right? And your customer gets frustrated, and if it consistently happens, eventually they will drop you. In fact, I can't tell you the number of times I've called a potential customer who was more than eager to have me come in and handle their freight needs because their existing broker that they had in place probably wasn't vetting your carriers because they kept having trucks either showing up late, not showing up at all, the wrong truck showing up, which means it was probably double brokered, that kind of a thing. So we went in, fixed that for them, and they were more than happy to continue to work with us, right? So that being said, let's let me get back over here. And if you are looking for additional resources, the little ticker there at the bottom, freightbrokerresources.com, be sure to check it out. All kinds of tips, news, things like that for freight brokers. So if you guys have any questions while I'm doing this, by all means, we are live, obviously, and I can respond to your questions, comments in real time. So without any further ado, I guess let's get to it, right? So if you're already a member of DAT. If you're not, again, you're going to want to get it for this to be valuable to you. So I went to the DAT directory, punched in EMC, a carrier that I use, right, that I know is good to go, and let's go ahead and look them up. WorldWay Inc., right? Got their basic information there. Now, here's something that you're going to want to look at. Like, everything might look good on the front end, right? They've got 5 out of 5 stars on 2 reviews. So they're getting good reviews. Tells us that they've got 17 power units, drivers, you know, what areas they run, their insurance, things like that. You know, a lot of your basic kind of information. But here's what you're going to want to check, right? So you see right here it says TIA Watchdog. Boom. That's going to go ahead and open up another window for us. And it's going to take us to the TIA Watchdog reports. And this particular carrier has no watchdog reports, which means thus far they are doing a good job. They are on the up and up. They haven't been reported for consistently falling off the loads or double brokering or any of that fun stuff, right? I say fun stuff sarcastically because it's never ever fun, especially for the carrier that picked up a load that was being double brokered, right? Because short story, when I first got into this many, many years ago, I'm not going to say how far back because then that just sort of dates myself, right? But I actually got caught with a carrier that double brokered a load that was supposed to be delivered to Denver, Colorado. The carrier that took the load rebrokered it, not having broker authority, and sent the driver to Minnesota. We eventually got in touch with that original carrier. We cross-docked the load, put another truck on it, but irregardless, the customer was upset. We ended up working through it with them and retained them as a customer, but you know, it can happen. So especially if you're brand new, you know, this is going to be very, very helpful. It should be helpful to those of you that have been brokering for some time, you know. So anywho, no watchdog reports found. Good carrier, you know, they're going to be good to go. You can also go down here and click on alias search and check to see if they're running under any other companies or anything. There's zero records of that. So, right. So, yeah, good carrier in good standing. So let's take a look at another carrier with not so good results, right? Boom, right there, warning. No total inspections in the last 24 months. They have 1 star. Well, 0 out of 2. We can go down here. Let's see. Should have, oh, sorry, my bad. Terrible carrier. That was 5 days ago. Here it is a week ago. Fell off 4 loads in 2 weeks with elaborate excuses. You know, this is not a carrier right off the bat that you're going to want to work with, right? But let's dig in a little bit further. Let's go to our TIA Watchdog report, see if there's anything there. And boom, we've got something. Let's see, what does this say? Truck broke down, booked another load with Charlie. That was just what? No, almost roughly a month ago, a month and a half ago. Excuses, additional comments. Yeah, not a carrier that you're going to want to put on one of your loads, right? Because they automatically have a reputation of falling off of loads. They're accepting loads, which also kind of puts in my mind they're probably trying to double broker loads, and when they can't cover them, then you know, oh, I know we have to pick up in an hour, but my driver had an emergency, or things like this. Even says right here, use with caution, they may be trying to double broker loads. So, you know, I really wouldn't use this carrier at all, right? You just don't want to put yourself into a situation between you and your customer, you know, where it's going to put your relationship with them into jeopardy. So let's go back and see if we have any alias searches, just to see. No records found, you know, but let's see, main postal code appeared in 4 other records, 1 other record. Yeah, you know, but irregardless, and this is, like I said, this is becoming more and more prevalent. I actually had a carrier earlier this summer. They had, like, I don't know, a couple of dozen MCs, right? And if you're on Facebook at all, you'll see some carriers, oh, I'll buy your MC, I'll buy your MC, you know, and that's what they're doing. They're buying up carrier MCs, accepting loads, back soliciting customers. They are double brokering, constantly falling off of loads, and it just destroys your relationship, right? So when you have a good carrier, like the first one we looked at there, you know, try to build a relationship with that carrier. Find out what other kind of lanes that they're running. You know, that's our job as a broker. We're an intermediary. We don't work directly for the customer or directly for the carrier. What we try to do, or at least I try to do, is create a happy marriage between all three parties to where it makes sense for the customer, the carrier, and yourself, right? So, and you know, there's always going to be problems. Something can happen, your fault, their fault, nobody's fault. But those instances become much less over time by properly vetting your carriers, your customers, you know, make sure that they're paying and everything. So that's what I want to jump on here for you, for you guys here today. To just kind of discuss that, help you avoid those headaches, not only for yourself but for your customers, and hopefully, you know, before you just quick jump on giving a load to a customer, or I'm sorry, a carrier that, you know, with a bad reputation, just because maybe, you know, their insurance and everything else looks fine, you know, and their authority, or you know, their safety rating is fine, but they're a new carrier. You know, they've already got those bad reviews. So, you know, you could, you know, a couple of phone calls later, you could have a good carrier and not have any worries or issues. So, with that, guys, I am going to go ahead and jump off of here. Doesn't look like we have any comments or anything. If you guys do have any questions about this or anything later on, by all means, drop a comment down below. I appreciate everybody that likes, shares, and subscribes. And as always, be kind to one another. Till next time. Bye-bye.